Chapter 22. One Punch Crush. Kang Chon finally let out a bellowing cry as he was about to fall into the spring. A huge hand condensed by true chi violently manifested, as if it appeared out of thin air, and with a shocking momentum, it swooped towards Xiaojin in mid-air. This huge palm condensed by the true chi was as big as 10 little golds, at this time swooping over. It really had the intention of a hand in the sky. Even if the Dan Emperor, who stayed on the sidelines watching the fun, was shocked by this move. Z, the little golden monkey, obviously did not expect Kang Chon to have this move, where to react in haste. And even if he knew, at the moment in mid-air he could not hide. After all, it has not been cultivated to the Jidan stage, unable to fly in the air. Brush. The huge true chi palm directly captured the little golden monkey, and then threw it towards the spring under the waterfall, almost falling into the water together with Kang Chon. Squeak! The little golden monkey screamed in the water in dissatisfaction, but it hated water the most. Ha 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 ha, let you kid be proud, Kang Chon laughed, waving his hands and splashing water towards the little golden monkey. Unwilling to be defeated, the little gold strongly counterattacked. A hint of relief flashed in the eyes of Emperor Dan on the boulder on the shore. I didn't expect that it was really practiced by this kid. Although he couldn't use the full power of the heaven escaping hand, because of the limitations of his cultivation, he could still see the power of this divine ability, and it will surely shine brightly in the future. In this half a month or so, Kang Chon had practiced the heaven escaping hand diligently, and today was the first time he had performed it. This mysterious divine ability recorded above the reverse heavenly cauldron had finally revealed its true colors. Only that Emperor Dan didn't know that this divine ability consumed too much true chi, and with Kang Chon's current cultivation, he could only barely manage to strike 3 heaven escaping hands before he was unable to fight anymore. As the sun was setting, the afterglow of the setting sun fell on the 2 figures playing under the waterfall, forming a picture of vigor and vitality. At this moment, in the royal mansion, there were already some gloating voices. Hey, tomorrow is that punk's bar mitzvah. Let's see how arrogant he still is. Isn't that so? When he's kicked out of the family, I'll see how cool he'll still be. Haha, tomorrow there will be a good show to watch. I heard that the 3rd elder has invited a lot of big names from Heavy Iron City. That punk will not only be kicked out of the family this time, I'm afraid that he has lost his face as well. I think the 3rd elder has another purpose. I heard that not long ago Wang Chon broke through the 9th level of the foundation establishment stage. The 3rd elder this time is not only to make that punk lose face, but also to make the patriarch lose face, so that his son can compete for the patriarch's position. This is going to be a change in the sky for the Wong Fu. Hehe. Heavy Iron City, Lin family. Lin Beishan held an invitation in his hand, a sinister smile on his face as he said to his son Lin Wei, who was beside him. My father is going to be in seclusion to condense his false pills. So tomorrow, we'll go to the Wong family to watch the fun on my father's behalf. Lin Wei answered. Li family. Li Tianfang held the invitation in his hand and laughed. Now old Wong is going to have a headache. Zhongjiao, come with me tomorrow to see this hustle and bustle. Yes. When Li Zhongjiao, who was on the side, heard this, a gloating gaze appeared in his eyes. Jinji Auction House. Jin Sanxiao put down the invitation in his hand and laughed at the wind-edge master at the side. It seems like there's a lively event to watch tomorrow. Would you like to go with me, master? 3rd young master invited me. I dare not follow your order. Master Feng Yuan laughed. As the sun set in the west, Kang Chon bid farewell to Xiao Jin and returned to the royal residence. At this time, Kang Chon did not know that this bar mitzvah of his had already attracted the attention of the entire Heavy Iron City. The rising sun rose to the east, the warm sunlight sprinkled throughout the entire Heavy Iron City. Today was destined to be a good day. Early in the morning, the streets of Heavy Iron City were already filled with pedestrians. And as one of the three great families of Heavy Iron City, the Wong Fu was even busier at the moment, enveloped in a fiery atmosphere. The reason for all this was Kang Chon's bar mitzvah. If it was only the bar mitzvah of an ordinary son of the Wong family, naturally, there was no need to make it so grand. But Kang Chon was the grandson of the patriarch Wong Tixiong and was a direct descendant of the Wong family. So his bar mitzvah naturally had to be prepared in a grand manner. In a backyard of the Wong mansion, Wong Tixiong listened to the report of a beloved henchman with a deep expression, the anger in his eyes growing. Wong Chon brat is bullying people too much. Wong Tixiong couldn't help but say angrily after listening to his subordinate's report. This time Kang Chon's bar mitzvah, he had originally prepared to hold it in a low key. After all, he was aware that Kang Chon had not built a foundation. And now that Wong Chon had gone behind his back and made Kang Chon's bar mitzvah so grand, it made him very angry. However, Wong Tixiong could only swallow his teeth in his stomach this time. After all, Wong Chon was ostensibly doing so much for the sake of his grandson. And even though he knew the little nasty things in Wong Chon's heart, there was nothing he could do about it. Patriarch Lin Wei of the Lin family has come to pay his respects with a congratulatory gift. At this time, a henchman came to report. Wong Tixiong's face immediately sank. This hadn't even started yet, and that old bastard Lin Beishan had sent someone, obviously to see him laugh. However, a few moments later, another subordinate came to report. Patriarch, the Li family head with his grandson, came to pay his respects. Well, the Li family is even more desperate. Li Tianfang, that old bastard, even came in person. Good. This is to drive my grandson to extinction. What a vicious mind. Wong Tixiong laughed back in anger, his gloomy eyes flashing with icy killing intent. It could be imagined that facing the gaze of the Heavy Iron City's group of heroes, if Kang Chon was driven out of the Wong clan, the face lost would not only be Kang Chon, but he, Wong Tixiong, as Kang Chon's grandfather, would lose all his face, which would deal the biggest blow to the prestige of the patriarch of his Wong clan. Not only that, in the face of so many people ridicule the gaze, Wong Tixiong really worried about his grandson and did not hold up. Fell into the will of the depressed, and from then on to really fall into the waste. This is the third elder's line of people will be his army are. Wong Tixiong sneered in his heart. Patriarch, Jinji Auction House Master Jin Sanshao and Master Feng Yuan are visiting. Patriarch, the City Lord is visiting. Patriarch, not a few moments later, a few more subordinates came to report. But it was one after another bigwig from Heavy Iron City who had come to the Wong family. Wong Chon, little child. Wong Tixiong couldn't help but be furious. This time, the third elder's line had gone too far. Even the City Lord and Qianji Auction House, the two transcendent forces in Heavy Iron City, had been invited. This was to force the palace. In a house in the Wong mansion, the three elders, Wong Chon, and Wong Fei's grandparents and grandsons were gathered together. At this moment, all three people had excited expressions on their faces. Father, I really didn't expect it. This time, even the City Lord and Qianji Auction House have come. That Wild Seed will still be considered a bit of a sight to behold, even if he's kicked out of the Wong family. Wong Chon couldn't hold back the laughter in his heart and said, if Wong Tixiong's prestige was swept away, then he would have the possibility to replace it and become the new patriarch of the Wong family. Wong Fei on the side was full of gloating, secretly thought, little brute. When you are driven out of the Wong family, the rules of the Wong family won't work anymore. See how I can clean you up at that time. Humph. Last auction, the City Lord snatched away that foundation building Dan. I'm afraid I'm a little overjoyed. That's why I came to take a look. On the contrary, this Jinji Auction House, they are a big power in the Great Tang country. Even the City Lord doesn't offend them, but they don't want to be invited. It's really surprising. When the time comes, pay attention to it, and if possible, Try to make good friends with them," the third elder said with a hint of doubt between his brows. "Father, don't worry. I will act as I see fit when the time comes," Wang Chon said with a straight face. He naturally knew the frightening nature of the Jinji auction house, to be precise, the frightening nature of the Jin family. If the city lord made them feel heavy with pressure, then when facing the Jin family, they could only look up. The two sides were completely incomparable. The Jin family could sweep through the heavy iron city by casually pulling out a single person. "All right, it's also time for us to go out and watch the fun." Really looking forward to Wang Tixiong's old man's face somewhat, the third elder laughed. Wang Chuan and Wang Fei also revealed icy smiles. Listening to the rain pavilion, in the middle of Kang Chon's house, Kang Chon, who was already fully dressed, was currently standing in front of a mirror. He looked at himself in the mirror and revealed a confident smile. 3 months of hard work, just for this moment. It's time to prove myself to them. Thinking of the faces of those hateful people when he failed to build his foundation time and time again, Kang Chon thought in his heart, wondering what kind of expressions those people would have when they learnt that he had built his foundation later on. Just thinking about it made him feel excited, and he was a little impatient. Walking out of the house, the warm sunlight sprinkled on Kang Chon's body, making him feel a sense of comfort. Young Master Chon, outside the house, Ant King looked at Kang Chon, who walked out with a slightly worried gaze. She didn't know why. She always felt that these days, Kang Chon had changed a lot. As to where, she couldn't say. Today was Kang Chon's bar mitzvah. For the importance of this day, Ant King was very clear. So she came to wait early in the morning, just like a mother, watching her own child being grown up. Ant King, don't worry, today I will make those guys shut up completely. Looking at Ant King, Kang Chon's heart warmed as he said softly, his eyes filled with confidence. This confidence seemed to have infected Ant King, causing her to feel slightly relieved. Thinking that young Master Kang Chon hadn't changed, he was still the same strong teenager. Even if he was kicked out of the Wang family today, he wouldn't lose his fighting spirit. On the huge martial arts arena of the Wang mansion, it was already crowded at this moment. Apart from the Wang family's sons and daughters, there were also a lot of Heavy Iron City's dignitaries. Wang Tixiong and the other elders of the Wang family were all accompanying the city lord, Master Feng Yuan, Jin San Xiao, and Li Chonfang, as they talked at this moment. In the square, those Wang family children were also all mingling and making a lot of noise. "It's almost time. Why isn't this brat coming?" Wang Chon frowned and said. Wang Tixiong, who was talking with Master Feng Yuan at the side, sniffed and said with a cold face, "What? When is it your turn to meddle in the bar mitzvah of the Wang family's children? When I, the patriarch, do not exist." When Wang Chon heard this, he was immediately choked and could not speak. Only the patriarch of the Wang family was qualified to intervene in the coming-of-age ceremony of the Wang family's children. And just now, he had no intention to do so, but he was caught by Wang Tixiong's shortcomings. Although Wang Chon has broken through the 9th level of the foundation establishment stage, but in the face of Wang Tixiong, who has long been a famous expert, there is still a great fear in his heart. Seeing this, the third elder, who was talking with Li Chonfang on the side, quickly smiled and said, "Patriarch's words are too serious. He's also well-intentioned. Look at the time, it's been so long, the city lord, Master Wind Edge, and they are all still waiting." Wang Tixiong snorted coldly and did not reply, because at this moment, at the entrance of the square, a teenager with a faint smile on his face slowly walked in, causing a commotion in the square. The teenager's smile was full of confidence, and facing the warm morning sunlight, the entire person exuded a vigorous vigor. For some reason, seeing the teenager smile, Wang Tixiong's previously tense mood suddenly relaxed. At the same time, the gazes of all the people in the square converged towards the slowly walking teenager. Looking at the slowly walking Kang Chon, the crowd in the square had different thoughts. There were those who gloated, those who sighed, and some who were purely watching. Faced with so many complicated gazes, Kang Chon walked as if he didn't see them, just walking blithely, only to be slightly surprised when he saw the city lord Yong Zhenan sitting with his grandfather on the stage, the Wind-Edge Grandmaster, as well as Jin Sanchao, who was winking at him, but casually turned into a cold smile.